As Muslims, Islam is central to our lives in so many ways. From how we worship Allah, to our responsibility to the Ummah being our global community, our religion influences us all differently, in that Islam is deeply personal to each and every single individual. Naturally, the question of how our faith impacts us is therefore intriguing, particularly when it comes to Muslim athletes who are already practicing their faith in the public eye. As we've looked at the role that Islam plays in the lives of Muslim athletes, we've seen how they embrace worship, how the discipline required in acts like Salah goes hand in hand with their journeys. We've seen how they can use their positions to support our global community.
Why is it so serious? Let's go, what happened?
And we've seen how they embrace fasting and how they actually use it as a strength in their careers. The holy month of Ramadan is when all elements of our faith are heightened. It's a time to reset ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's a time to reflect on our lives and the impact that religion has on all of us. So with Ramadan in mind, there couldn't be a more appropriate way to look at Islam than through the eyes of Muslim athletes.
What does Ramadan mean to you?
It's a time where you're almost stripping back to your purpose. Why are we here? We're here to worship Allah.
أحسن شهر في السنة بالنسبة لي.
The Ramadan is for the Muslims a very, very important month.
I love the environment. I love every single moment.
مناسبة بالنسبة لنا مناسبة مهمة جدا في حياتنا، مناسبة بيكون فيها كل الخير، كل الكرم.
Ramadan is always, for me, best time of the year.
Ramadan is the holy month where the Quran was revealed to our Prophet. So as a Muslim, you follow his sunnah, his example, because he was the perfect human being.
Ramadan is the most sacred month of the year for Muslims, in which we spend the entire month not just in fasting, not just in abstaining from food and drink and our desires, but we also pour into that spiritual cup. It's a month in which the mosques are full. And so if you go to the mosque at night, you'll find that Muslims will be praying for an hour, 2, 3 hours sometimes. So they're not just depleting themselves or depriving themselves throughout the day of food and drink. They're just pouring all sorts of things spiritually into themselves and building their character. So in many ways, it's a spiritual boot camp.
From dawn time, you'll read more Quran, or your prayers.
For me, it's like a reset, and it makes you feel a better person when you're getting closer to Allah.
It's a peaceful month. You're busy with your prayers. You go a lot to the mosque. You appreciate that we are very lucky. We have to be thankful.
بيهديك إذا كان نفسيا معنويا، بيخليك أكتر هادي في بالنسبة لك، في أكتر تأمل في الأشياء البسيطة والهدوء والسلام النفسي الداخلي اللي عندك. أظن ده بيخليها أكتر عندنا بعد شهر رمضان.
I think everyone who comes out of Ramadan as a Muslim will tell you the same thing. You come out feeling the most spiritual you've ever felt, so in touch with God, so in touch with yourself. We've all got our downfalls as human beings, and that's the month for you to work on those things.
Yeah, listen, the skin, you gotta wash it, innit? We believe that everything that you do, the reward is maximized during that month.
Zaina, why do you just put it all like
Okay,
that?
how do you want to do it?
It.
Oh my
Sister.
goodness. Listen, it's all going to the same place at this point.
Yeah, but still, it's got to look nice for people to want to grab it.
Your character also is highlighted because sometimes when you're not eating, you're tested.
Different shapes and
My friend, it looks the same. If anything, you made it even worse.
I feel that's the month where all your values are intensified. You know, you do more sakai. I've encountered kindness through my life, and it showcased the importance of it, of humanity and having a good heart. I think one of my best encounters I've ever had with humanity was when we arrived in Denmark. My mom found the police officer and told him that we were seeking asylum. Obviously, understanding we were hungry. He drove us to like a little kiosk, bought some milk, banana, toast. Such a insignificant gesture from his point, because it's not a big deal for him. But for me, I thought it was like the biggest thing ever, and it still is. I think that's probably like, you know, part of like the character that I've become, that I want to do more for other people.
In a climate of Islamophobia, where the idea that the more Muslim you are, the more of a threat you are to humanity, it's important to actually show people that the more Muslim you are, the more agreeable of a person that you are, the more excellent of a person you are. If you're practicing Islam correctly. And for the vast majority of Muslims, that is actually the case. You want to be around a Muslim in Ramadan, because a Muslim that's practicing Ramadan properly is only saying beautiful things, manifesting beautiful things, is highly charitable, and is looking at their personal interactions and interpersonal interactions as means by which they get personally closer to God. And so it's a beautiful time to understand Islam, to understand the Muslim community. And for athletes that are on the greatest stage, it's a time for them to showcase Islam to a greater world.
ايه الاخبار؟ كله تمام؟ الحمد لله كله تمام.
والله انا اسف والله هو بس الشغل المصريين بس.
لا عادي عادي. رمضان طبعا بالنسبه لي لما انا كنت بكبر كان من احلى الاوقات. حبيب قلبي حبيبي انا هطلب تاني النهارده. ان شاء الله والله الاكل ده مامتي عملته لي. والله تسلم يا شباب حبيبي. بالذات ان انا كلاعب كوره ورمضان بيبقى فيه حاجه اسمها دورات رمضانيه. دايما بيبقى بعد الفطار تبقى انت صايم اليوم كله، تفطر مع اهلك او اصحابك وبعدين بتروح تلعب كوره، فانا كنت بربط وقت رمضان ده بالكوره. So nochmal Salat, Suppe, das heißt ورق عنب, das ist schwer zu erklären. Molocheia, das ist so eine Gemüsebrühe mit Reis, so eine Suppe und das Reis. Du isst ja den ganzen Tag nichts, weißt du? Dann musst du das alles aufnehmen. اتولدت في المعادي القاهرة. عايش طول حياتي هناك لغاية 18 سنة. احنا في مصر يعني بنتولد وبنتعلم الدين من واحنا صغيرين جدا. انت والدين حاجة واحدة. طبعا كل القوانين في البلد مبنية على الدين، فانت بتربط كل حاجة في حياتك بالدين. انت هيجي وقت هيبقى اما الدين يا اما الكورة، لا انا بربطهم هما الاتنين مع بعض. ده الشغل بتاعي ولازم اعمله، وده الدين بتاعي ولازم هنفذ الحاجات اللي مكتوبة في الدين بتاعي اللي انا لازم اعملها عشان ابقى يتقال عليا مسلم. بالنسبة لي أنا كالحتة الروحية إن أنا لما أصحى وأصلي أنا كده عارف إن خلاص يعني أنا بدأت اليوم كويس ورايح التمرين ببقى مرتاح. تيجي بقى على بالليل اليوم كله عدى من وراك، قول عندك ماتش لعبت وحش، عندك ماتش لعبت كويس، بتيجي تصلي في آخر اليوم تعرف كان بالنسبة لي أنا يعني إن أنا بظبط اليوم على الأساس ده. طبعا من الناحية الرياضية هي أنا بحس إن الاتنين مربوطين ببعض. مش بقتنع إن أنا هصلي عشان ربنا يكرمني، لا أنا بصلي بعيد عن الكورة. أنا هتمرن وأتعب وأعمل كل حاجة عليا وهصلي في نفس الوقت وربنا هيكرمني. عشان كده ما احبش اربط الاتنين دول في بعض. بتصلي فانت بتبقى انت مطمن ان مهما حصل هيبقى قدر ربنا. عندي ايمان ان اي حاجه هتحصل يعني هتحصل. دي تقريبا اكتر حاجه ساعدتني. مانشستر. فبتبقى انت جبت جونين، عامل اسبوعين 3 حلوين، تبقى مبسوط، بس انت عارف ان انت ربنا كرمك وفي اي وقت ممكن الموضوع ده يخلص، وبالذات في الكوره. احنا كلنا عارفين ان الكوره ممكن تطلع في ثانيه وممكن تنزل برضه في ثانيه.
First time in Manchester?
Yeah.
Yeah.
كنت بلعب في وولزبرج، رحت فرانكفورت، جيت هنا مانشستر سيتي. كل دي تغييرات، بس دي فترات الواحد بيعدي فيها في حياته وبيتعلم منها. وبما ان احنا بنتكلم على رمضان وربنا، دي حاجة بشكر ربنا طبعا ان انا من اللي انا فيه، وان الواحد دايما لازم يبقى آمن ان احسن حاجة بتحصل للواحد، حتى لو في الوقت ده او في اللحظة دي انت ما بتبقاش بتؤمن بحاجة زي كده، بس دايما ربنا بيشيل لك حاجة احسن من كده.
الإسلام يعطي الزاد، يعطي عدد من القدرات المميزة ليستعين بها اللاعب المسلم. نعطيك مثال، التقبل هي أول شرط مهم جدا للصحة النفسية. اللاعب يمر بخبرات صعبة جدا ولا يتقبل سيعاني ويشتد الاضطراب النفسي أو الاضطراب البدني، خلاف اللاعب الذي يتقبل يسهل عليه إدارة الأزمات.
كل حاجة بتحصل من ربنا سبحانه وتعالى. كم واحد عايز يبقى لعيب كورة في العالم؟ كم طفل عايز يبقى لعيب كورة؟ انك انت تبقى واحد من دول، فده كرم من عند ربنا، ولازم نشكره طبعا. دي حاجة بتلعب يعني حاجة كبيرة في حياتي، ان انا دايما عارف انا مكانتي فين.
Taking a direct route here, and Marmoush is in!
مرموش يا مرموش يا مرموش، الله 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 الله.
City chasing a third, and it's a hat-trick! Wow! Omar Marmoush could be the start of something special between him and Manchester City.
كلاعب كورة لما ابقى ماشي كويس ما طيرش، ما بقاش حاسس ان انا اجمد واحد في الدنيا، عشان احنا كلنا عارفين ان ربنا هو اللي كرمنا.
There's no doubt that Ramadan looks different for everyone in regards to their personal circumstances. One of the verses that actually comes down within the capacity of Ramadan is that God desires for you ease, He doesn't desire for you hardship. And so there are people that are going to have circumstances of travel, of illness, of excessive difficulty that might be excused for the day, and then they make it up later. And so Ramadan looks different for the athlete, it looks different for the homemaker, it looks different for a construction worker, from an office worker. But the point is that every single person uses the day to glorify God.
كل الشهر بتبقى بتدعي فيه وبتبقى مركز في الشهر ده انك تأدي بشكل مميز، تأدي تمريناتك بشكل مميز، تعامل الناس كويس جدا. اكبر تحدي انك تعرف تتعامل مع انك تتمرن وبرضه تصلي وتعمل كل الحاجات اللي وراك. في هنا يبقى التمرين بدري، مفيش اذان، عندنا ماتشات في وقت الصلاة، ده اللي بيخليك تقوي إيمانك.
Ramadan, because it follows the lunar calendar, it comes in different times, so it depends where I am and how I experience it. If it's 48 degrees and I have training and game, is very, very, very different than if I am in Denmark and it's, you know, the sun sets at 7. Sorry, I'm gonna take some of my spices. It's quite different than being at home with the family. Also, whenever you do break fast, it's not the same, you know. You can have like your little date and your little 2 plates or whatever, but it doesn't feel the same.
رمضان بالنسبة لنا هو أكتر لقضاء الوقت مع العيلة ومع الأصدقاء. فأظن هو ده بيكون أكتر شيء طاغي علينا في الوقت بتاع رمضان، هو إزاي هنقضي الوقت سوا مع العيلة مع الأصدقاء.
To be honest now, as a footballer, I probably don't experience the full experience of Ramadan in terms of family around and the community. That's a big part of Ramadan. Going after food and going over to your friend's house and having tea and baklava and just like having conversations like deep into the night. As a footballer, I probably miss a lot of that because most of the time I'm traveling, I'm not eating for enjoyment, but I'm eating for performance a lot of the time.
I tackled him in the mosque with Ramadan when we were kids. You don't remember it, but I remember exactly.
You make your own stories. Me, when I'm in the mosque, I pray. I don't play like you.
When you're alone, it's a bit more difficult to wake up alone, to eat alone, to prepare your meals alone, you know, to break your fast alone.
But you don't remember because the tackle was too hard.
It was so hard that I forget it.
Yeah, it's better, and also for the feeling, you know, to be all together.
With me, I might go to Shane's gym for like 2 sessions or 3 a week. I don't go the whole Monday to Friday because, you know, you're fasting, you're going to be tired, you're fatigued. You lose weight in Ramadan. You don't have no water, any food, so he kind of shortens the session down.
You learn a lot about yourself in Ramadan because you're taking yourself out of your routine. And so Ramadan is a chance where you reset yourself spiritually physically, emotionally, mentally. You clarify your perspective in life, and at the same time, you're able to move forward in your relationship with God.
في رمضان دائما ما بيقولوا ان دعواتنا بتكون مستجابة، فانا في رمضان بدعي لكل شيء، يعني بدعي لنفسي بالنجاح، بالسلام والهدوء، بدعي للعائلة، للأصدقاء.
What do I pray for during Ramadan? Forgiveness. Just for any time I've done something wrong, or I've treated someone badly, or I've spoke badly about someone. And just ask God to help me be better in every way possible.
You never told me that.
Better as a footballer, better as a man, as a brother, as a son, as a friend, like just in every way possible in my life.
I pray for the Ummah. I feel like it's really important because we talk about being one body, one soul, etc. So we pray not just for ourselves, but for everyone. We're all trying to make it to heaven, essentially. So for us to always everyone to get their one piece.
دايما بدعي طبعا لعيلتي، لنفسي، ان انا افضل سليم، وان شاء الله ربنا يكرمني في الفترة اللي جاية دي، يبعد عني العين والاصابات طبعا.
Every Muslim pray to reach this month. If you make your prayers and your du'as with power and you really believe in it, God can forgive you all your sins you did. Nobody's perfect. We all need this forgiveness from God. Also to reflect and to think about the things you do, maybe what you can do better, maybe what you can change.
I think during Ramadan, you just reflect on the purpose of life and what you're actually doing on this earth. Maybe through the year, you get so caught up in your career and football and your life and what's going on in this physical world, in the material world, and you forget about the spiritual realm and what's coming for you there.
I've never been, because every time I go, we just go to...
How can however many billion people who are Muslim all just be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing right now?
Oh, hi. Why? Because we're in the shop. Right.
With Ramadan being a time of reflection, I reflect a lot upon the blessings that Allah has given me. Gratitude as well. So I just feel like during that time, I'm just so grateful for everything that Allah has given me in life.
Something that I always thought was beautiful was also when we were younger, my mom used to say, there's a lot of people around the world that only eat one meal a day. So it's also putting yourself in someone else's shoes. It's about perspective. It's about empathy and what people go through. I'm telling you.
Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure.
So in that way, it's a beautiful month.
الشهر ده بيخلي الواحد يرجع لنفسه، بالذات في اللحظات اللي الواحد بيبقى موجود فيها في كرة القدم، مع كل الشهرة، كل الميديا، كل الناس اللي بتتفرج عليك، بيخليك ترجع لنفسك، ترجع تتواضع تاني.
Ramadan is one of those things that you can't understand unless you practice. To the outside world, it looks like torture. Why would you put yourself through this exercise? But if you were to ask a Muslim as Ramadan is coming to an end, are you looking forward to the end of Ramadan? Most Muslims would actually hold their heads and cry and weep or feel deep sadness, because what they're learning about themselves, what they're unlocking in that period, is unlike anything that you can unlock throughout the year. Islam is not meant to only be a part of our lives. It's meant to be an all-encompassing way of life. And so while there is so much that unites us, such as shared faith and ritual, there are also these religious experiences that are distinct, and they reflect our unique circumstances in our journeys back to God. We each find strength in our own way when we embrace the elements that make up our religion. And so while you're watching this Muslim athlete that is depleting their bodies in terms of water and food and wondering how they're still performing, it's because when you tap into what's inside of you, you're actually able to manifest what otherwise doesn't make sense at all to anyone on the outside. Athletes that are able to not only still perform, but perform even better, show you that as human beings, when we tap into what's inside of us, we can perform in a way that's not only acceptable, but in a way that's exceptional.